By the time you're seeing this episode, Governor Cooper will have signed or vetoed House Bill 704, or simply let the bill become law. Regardless, a process will likely begin soon to review whether breaking up large school districts is a good idea. Now, let's be real, we're talking about Wake County and Mecklenburg County. In these two areas, talk about splitting off from the district by some suburban communities isn't new. In fact, two Charlotte communities, Matthews and Mint Hill, backed legislation this year to allow them to create their own separate charter school districts to serve their residents. The reason we focus a great deal on the show today on the history of segregation is simply you cannot look at school systems in the South without understanding this ugly history. It's why the courts ordered the merger of so many school districts across North Carolina in the 1960s and 70s. Brown versus Board of Education was decided by the Supreme Court in 1954, declaring school segregation unconstitutional. But as you heard from Dr. Flood, North Carolina schools were still highly segregated in 1969 when he joined the Department of Public Instruction. Now that's when I was a kid, and that's where I want to transition to. Now I saw one of my favorite comedians, Chris Rock, in an interview recently that came out as footnotes on Jay-Z's latest album. Now, Chris and his family are from South Carolina. He and I are about the same age. He told a story about how his mother, growing up, had to go to a veterinarian for dental work because there were no dentists around in South Carolina who would treat African Americans. And even then they had to go to the back door so white customers didn't see them being treated by the same doctor who treated their dogs. Now this is Chris Rock's mom, who's the same age as mine. This is not ancient history, or as he joked, we're not talking George Washington Carver times. This was his mom. And this is one of the reasons why the notion of reversing school system mergers sends up red flags for so many people. Those things didn't happen in George Washington Carver times either. Issues of race can be hard to discuss. We try on this show to talk very candidly about it. House Bill 704 simply sets up a study committee to look at district breakups and the impact. So let's study it, because the last thing we need to do is accelerate resegregation and dismantling some of the progress we have made as a state. That's it for this week's show. Next week we have another great show, including an interview with Dr. Nicole Hurd, who's the founder and CEO of the College Advising Corps, a nationally recognized organization helping make college more accessible for thousands of students across the U.S. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.